No, but which one am I like? I need my intro. I don't know where to look for the intro. This is my debut.
Is it? Oh well, gotta start somewhere, haven't we?
Exactly. Jordan, thanks for your time today. Been a pleasure working with you to bring the t-shirts down. How's life treating you lately?
Good, yeah, just working hard, training. Obviously, just having a fight announced with Zelfa.
Yeah.
Massive fight, big carrot dangling in front of me, ready for a world title shot if I get through this one. So, yeah, excited. Yeah, a lot, all systems go. Got the gym running, got a house that I bought, and it's just, yeah.
Obviously, if you win this one, there's big things come off the back of it. In the build-up to the Mick Conlan fight, a lot of people were very biased. You didn't really get much of a look in from many people. I'm sure it was different from your side. Do you feel that there's anything similar in the build-up to this camp, and people not giving you much of a look in again?
I think no one gave me any respect, no chance before the Mick Conlan fight. I think people got a little bit more respect for me now since, but at the same time, it's been a lot of the case where people said, "Oh, Mick Conlan's done, his chin's gone." Like, end of the day, I caught him early and he didn't recover, and I got him out of there. But yeah, I think Zelfa is a different task. I think it's a tougher fight, but at the same time, I am underdog. I think people will write me off, but I look forward to proving people wrong again.
Yeah, I'm sure there's no better feeling, especially after the last one. Like, not many people give you any chance in the build-up to it. How confident were you going into the fight? Did it affect you at all, seeing all the negative media about you? Or, to be honest, there wasn't really much media about you. It was all on Mick Conlan. So did that affect you at all?
Yeah, it was great. It took all the pressure off.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it doesn't matter because if you go over there and get beat, everyone expects you to get beat anyway. So it doesn't matter, does it? So go out there, smash him up, and it was like, oh, so to go over to Belfast to do it was even sweeter because I was in the Lions Den. No one gave me a chance. I was there just for payday, and yeah, I was dead confident. I knew I'd get him. The tactics would work on the way I was performing in the gym, the refreshing approach that I had to the fight was good. Even though I'd not boxed for 14 months before the fight, I was really up for it, and I knew I was going to win.
Yeah. In previous interviews, you've said that you think Mick was sort of ignorant to the reasons to why he lost his previous fights before you. Did you pick up on any of them weaknesses and watching footage and did you exploit any specific weaknesses in the fight?
Yeah, massively. I think, against Lee Wood, he exerted so much energy that he tired in the later stages of the fight and got knocked out. I think against who was it? Lopez. He was fighting at a pace that he couldn't maintain again. I think that the pace of the fights that he has, he's still boxed like an amateur. I still think that he doesn't know why he lost them fights. I still think that he doesn't know why he blocks the same way every time. So when you come with a 2-1, he's open for it.
I know you dropped him with first.
Yeah, it's the shot that I dropped him with first. It's something that we've been drilling in the gym and practicing in sparring. So everything that played out in the fight, we'd worked on, we'd drilled, and we'd exploited in that fight.
We know Mick had 2 losses in his 2 world title shots. However, the first fight with Lee Wood, like, personally, I thought he was winning the fight until he got caught, and then the second fight with Lopez, like, he didn't look out of place until he got knocked out. Do you feel like you aren't getting the credit you deserve for knocking Mick out just because he'd been knocked out previously?
Yeah, I think so, but
because he's still a world-class fighter, like, there's no doubt, and you put a world-class performance on to beat him, so I feel like you should get more credit than this seems like you do.
Yeah, I think he is a world-class fighter, but boxing's a very fickle sport. If he'd have come out and done what I did to him, everyone's been saying, "Oh yeah, he's back in business. He's going to be world champion." Blah blah blah. But for me to go over and do it there when it wasn't expected, it was like, "Oh, Mick Conlan's done." So like, you're never ever going to get the credit you deserve. And you can never expect it. You have to just treat every comment, negative and positive, the same. Just acknowledge it and move on, because if you're waiting around for compliments and waiting around for attention and adoration, then you're in the wrong sport because they'll never come.
I suppose you can't get too fixed up on what other people outside your own circle say about it, because if you do, you could be reading comments online all day, especially someone at the level of yourself. You could be reading it. You could read negative comments all day, every day in the lead up to that fight if you wanted to. So if you let that get in your head, then I suppose it will affect you. But it seems like
Sets
you've done the
yourself
right
up for
things.
failure because you just have to go at it and believe in yourself and believe in the opinions of like 5 people whose opinions you value. Probably your mum, your dad, your coach, and your strength conditioning coach, whatever. So that's the way I see it anyway. And no matter what, people can say what they want. Everyone's got an opinion.
Yeah.
But what matters is what happens in the ring, and you have to make sure what happens in the ring is what you want to do.
That's good advice for someone like me, I suppose, an up-and-coming fighter or any up-and-coming fighter watching. Your next year against Zelfa Barrett, big fight. If you win this fight, opens big doors, big paydays, big everything. Chance to be a world champion again, maybe, if you win this one. How is the build-up to this, and how is your training going? Have you changed much towards it without giving too much away?
Yeah, it's a good fight. It's a very good fight. It's a fight that everyone's like, oh yeah, that's a good one. So it's captured the imagination of the public. I think it's a similar fight to Conlan in certain ways, but then in a lot of more ways it's very different. I think he's a lot tougher than Conlan. I think he punches a lot harder than Conlan. And yeah, he's an experienced fighter. He's got a very similar record to myself, and he's been in with some good fighters, and he's done very well. He moves well. He's fast. He's got his uncle Pat Barrett behind him. I've got respect in the world for Zelfa, and I know I've got to respect him on the night. But at the same time, we've been working on the tactics, trying to exploit the weaknesses that we see. So I've got a very specific game plan to work to. I've got things in my arsenal that people haven't seen, and I'm looking forward to showing them.
Yeah, great. What are you like backstage warming up? I know some people have a nervous breakdown when they're waiting to go out to fight, feel like the world's about to end, and I know some people who it's just like another day to them, a walk in the park. How do you handle the nerves, and what are your nerves like? What are you like backstage when you get your hands wrapped, shorts on, gloves on?
Yeah, I mean, I've been very nervous before, but like I seem to have turned a corner in my career. Like before the Conlan fight, I wasn't not bothered. Like everyone, you're gonna have. Like, I felt like I did when I was young again, where like you have a few little butterflies, but you're ready for it. You want it. You want it, and you just want to put on a show and show what you've been working on. And when I think. The times that I've ever been nervous is when I know my preparation hasn't been correct. So great preparation will relieve the nerves because you're ready, you've trained hard, you've got the right sparring, you haven't cut weight too much, you've done everything that in your power, you've controlled everything that you can control.
I can relate to
And the only things that you can't control is what your opponent's going to do. But then at the same time, if you do the right things in a fight, you can actually control what your opponent does. So
suppose the confidence comes from your preparation. And
definitely.
There's been times where I've been underprepared, and thinking back now when you say that those are the times where I've had doubts in the changing rooms.
Yeah.
Do you have any like pre-fight rituals that you go through? So even like on a fight week or on fight day, I know my pre-fight ritual is I try and watch all the Rockies in the fight week.
You got too much time on your hands. Nah, I don't really have any rituals. I just go out and have a good scrap, and it'll be what it'll be. Like I don't have any rituals. But funny, before my last fight, before the Conlan fight, it was on a Tuesday night, and I was flying to Belfast on a Wednesday morning, and I was like fight week, you're cutting out your carb, you're just like you're hungry. I'd done my check weight that day and travelled back down from Harlow, and I got in, I was starving, so I got chicken out of the fridge. Put it on a baking paper, on a baking tray, stuck it in the oven, and the little clips that you seal chicken up with. Like I got it out of the fridge and unclipped it. I couldn't find the clip anywhere. Anyway, when I got the chicken out of the oven, I pulled it out and I picked up the baking paper, and it was on the baking tray, and it had melted into the. And my mum come into the kitchen and was like, "What you done? You melted the clip." And she goes, "It looks like a number 7." I said, "Oh yeah, maybe I'll do Conlan in round 7 then." She put some money on Conlan at 100 to 1, round 7, on Jordan, on me to stop Conlan in round 7, 100 to 1, and she won a load of money. So
That is the stuff of like,
Weird.
it's like when you have a dream about something,
Yeah.
you're gonna wake up and put a bet on it. That is unreal.
Weird, yeah.
Only fighters who know what it's like to lose a fight when there's like a lot rider on it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you've been in that position. Do you have any advice for like younger fighters who are maybe dealing with the first loss, or even older fighters who are dealing with the first loss at a higher level?
Yes,
It can be hard to deal with, and it can eat you up from the inside for a long time.
yeah, definitely. You know, losing is part of life. You're gonna lose. You're never gonna win every football game. You're never gonna win every boxing match. You're never gonna, you know, you're gonna lose your parents. You're gonna lose your grandparents. Like, loss is a part of life, and you have to learn to deal with it. You have to learn to enjoy the journey more than winning everything. And winning is important because it means you're progressing in life. But at the same time, there's life after boxing.
Yeah.
And you have to recognise that. And there's a longer time after boxing. When I retire, I'm going to be alive, hopefully, for longer than I was boxing. So I've been boxing. I've been walking in the boxing gym for 25 years now. It's a long time. It's like a life sentence. But I've lost plenty of times, amateur and pro, and all I can tell you is that pain that you feel is horrible and it's the worst thing in the world. But you're only ever one win away from being back to where you were or beyond, because my last fight was up against Michael Conlan. The fight before that was against Kiko Martinez.
Yeah,
I got stopped in a bad fight. I've not boxed for 14 months, and you'd look at my career from the outside and you think, oh, he's done now. That's it. He's shot. He had his chance and he blew it. And I proved that you only ever one win away from making a big impact and progressing your career, because I come back with one fight, beat Michael Conlan, got a world title eliminator, get in line for a world title shot. You only ever one win away.
Yeah, there's a couple of things I want to ask you from that. Obviously, the fight with Kareem Guthrie is, I can't pronounce his second name. Kareem Guthrie. It was a barn burner. I remember watching it live in the house and screaming the house down when he knocked him out. It was probably one of the best moments I've witnessed live, anyways. Obviously the fight with Kiko Martinez was only 7 or 8 months after that. Do you think that you weren't fully recovered from that fight, because you did take a lot of damage? It would be fair to say. Was it perforated eardrum? And
do you know what was the worst bit? The worst bit was I had a hand operation a few weeks after the Guthrie fight. So it was a long process for me to be able to punch again. So for the Kiko fight, I'd only actually been punching for like 8 weeks before the fight, and it was never going to be as strong as what it was before. But I'd made no excuses. I was dead at that weight, and looking back, for the Guthrie fight, I was dead on the scales. For the fight before that, I was dead at the weight, and for Kiko, I was completely gone. And
is that the reason for the move up then? Because the weight cut was getting too hard?
Definitely, yeah. I wasn't performing for the last 3 years. I've not been performing, and £4 doesn't sound like a lot, but a little bit extra, a little bit more fuel in camp, a little bit more less to cut on the day of the weigh-in, it made all the difference, and you saw that in the last fight. Yeah. So looking back, I should have made the move up years ago, but I've made it now, and we're making it pay.
Obviously, in boxing, a lot of people are very precious over the O. It's different to other combat sports like MMA and Thai boxing. Why do you think that is in boxing? Like you say yourself, when you got beat off Kiko Martinez, everyone was saying he's done, he's this, he's that. But at the end of the day, you fought for a world title and you got beat by the better man on the night, who's also a world-class fighter. So why do you think it is that people are so judgmental when you get beat in boxing and you've lost it all?
I think boxing is like no other sport where you wouldn't go and watch Man City or Man United or Chelsea every week and expect them to win, and you understand that they're going to lose maybe once or 3, 4, 5 times a season, and boxing, you always expect it to win, and there's so much of a ratio of competition, like of training to competition. Like the footballers or rugby players, they'll play twice a week and train 3, 4 times a week. Boxing, we're training for like 6 months and fighting once. So the ratio of training to competition, so it makes it so important. And because it's a personal sport, it's an individual sport. You've not got 11 or 10 teammates to rely on. So it's all on you. That all the focus is on you. The way they build the fights is personal. They make it more of a beef, and because it's built in that way, they make it so important to win. And people like Floyd Mayweather who come along and didn't get beaten was, he was the face of boxing, bragging about being 50-0 and that sort of thing. And he made it more fashionable to be, have an unbeaten record. But look at all the great fighters throughout the years. You Sugar Ray Leonard, you Sugar Ray Robinson, Manny Pacquiao's, Roberto Duran, Julio Cesar Chavez Sr. They all had losses on their record, and they're some of the best fighters that have ever lived. So the real champions lose, and real champions come back from adversity. And I think showing how to come back from adversity is more important to the public, and people will get behind you more than just being unbeaten and walking around cocky and flash.
Definitely, I agree with that 100%. What would you say the highest point for you personally is in your career? Like at that moment where you felt like everything was just perfect?
When I finished my drug test after the Conlan fight, we got the taxi back to the hotel, and I walked into the hotel, and all the people that travelled over from England to Belfast was there, all pissed up in the bar, screaming my name, and I thought, this is good, innit? So chilling Conlan in Belfast, getting paid good money, and going to the bar after was probably the high for me.
Yeah, stuff of dreams.
Yeah, man.
What is your why?
My why is because it's what I do. I've been brought up around boxing. It's part of me, and I love it, and it's my passion, and I'll do it until I'm not able to do it anymore.
We're sat in your new gym now, BoxCross, just opened in December. What is the reason for starting your own business in your own gym? It's a nice place.
Yeah, thanks. I wanted to put something in the public, into the community, where people can have an opportunity to train and use all different types of equipment, whether they want to do boxing, whether they want CrossFit, want to do Olympic lifting, whether they want to do circuit training, running. We're getting all sorts of different machines, weights and that. So
yeah, there's everything here. 2 boxing rings in the back.
Yeah.
Boxing bags up here. Sled.
Yeah.
Weight.
We're getting the curved treadmills, we're getting all the machines, like we've got the cable machine that just arrived, we've got the skiers, everything. So everything's here. So we wanted to make it a one-stop shop for people, and make it a see you later. See you, mate.
So
we wanted to make it a one-stop shop, and not just have this gym, but we're looking to open one in a few months in Peterborough as well, and then we're going to look at Cambridge, and we've got business in Dubai as well, so we're going to hopefully open a BoxCross in Dubai as well. So
nice, big plans.
We've got big plans, and we're doing shows alongside it, so people can come in, get free training for 8 weeks, to feel what it's like to train like a fighter. And people are more interested in boxing now because of people like the Jake Pauls and what's the other, KSI and people like that.
The YouTube boxers.
YouTube boxers. They're bringing more eyes to the sport. Everybody wants to have a little go, and we wanted to give people the opportunity to have a go, but make it as safe as possible in a friendly environment where everyone can look after each other and get along well.
We'll finish on a couple more questions. Past or present, who would be your dream opponent and why? Tough one.
I think I'd like to have a go with Eric Morales because he's an absolute killer, and I'd be well up for it. And we love fighting Mexicans, don't we? It's good fun. So I think it'd be a barn burner.
I wouldn't say fun's the right word. Some of them. We'll finish on one more thing. So, describe these people in 1 or 2 words. Mike Tyson.
Killer.
Sugar Ray.
Successful.
Lee Wood.
Good guy.
Zelfa Barrett.
Good guy.
Mick Conlan.
Prick.
Eddie Hearn.
Fantastic businessman.
Frank Smith.
Good guy.
Joe Cordina.
Great fighter.
Kiko Martinez.
One of Spain's best ever fighters.
Well, thanks for your time today, Jordan.
Thank you, mate.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers, man. Thank you.